here about the application of payments. I've seen on a newer deed of trust now where it says that the bank gets to keep any excess proceeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really cute there, you know, and just another little piece of the puzzle that adds on and shows that everything we're doing is right. Because why would there be any extra proceeds? If you wrote a check, you know, people think about the escrow as being used for things like termite inspection, roofing inspection, okay? So you would write a check because you want to get a certified roofing inspection, okay? So instead of getting a free one, you write a check for $75. And you give it to, or you write a check for all the clothes because the escrow company pays it. And at the end they say, well, we paid $75 for this roofing inspection, so you owe us, you know, we're going to take $75 out of here. But then you find out later that it was really only $74.19. All right, so you overpaid by 81 cents. Well, you're entitled to get that money back. And now in the newer deeds of trust, they're even saying that they get to keep that. So I think it's kind of funny and kind of telling also. Anyhow, you're going to find on basically the remedy to every problem that we have in these documents that they send to us. I have not found one piece of paper that's been mailed to somebody that I've looked at, that's been mailed to them by an esquire, that I haven't been able to find some remedy in that piece of paper. And it's not just because it says payments are deemed received by lender when received at the location, blah, blah, blah. It's because when I look at the word payments, or I look at the word acceptance, or I look at the word destroy, I look at the total concept of the word, of the term, not just the word itself. I look at the legal term, not the slang. Oh, yes. Good. I look at the legal term, not the slang. So for instance, when somebody uses the term destroyed, if they tell you that that instrument was destroyed, well, the question that you should ask is, oh, how much did you get for it? Because destroyed means altered on the face, so it's no longer suitable for its original intended purpose.
Sure, you use like a book on etymology or a biblical...
Not a book, but you're right, yes. Etymology, old law sources, like Blackstone's commentaries. I read Blackstone's commentaries, Benedict on Admiralty. Oh, that's right. I was supposed to share with you a little bit what's here on this disc that you're going to get.
Bouvier's.
Yeah. Bouvier's dictionary is a good one for
1864.
Are there certain words that are critical that you have a list of that are always, I mean, I have in my own mind what pops up. But
right.
You have like a list of 50 that, hey, watch out for these, you really scrap these.
No, not really. No, just like when we're talking. You know, if somebody in this room asks me a question today, and I say, you know, you're asking that from the debt side of the ledger, then we'll try and figure out how to ask it from the asset side.
I see a lot of times when they're sending back to us, like when they use the word like unintelligible, they're really calling us into the second floor of the administration to settle it without having to go to like court. Because that word in the private means something totally different than in the public.
Same with garbled.
With what?
Garbled.
Really?
The word garbled, yeah. That's a good one.
Another example you might want to share is what about when they say if the note was lost?
Oh yeah, if the note was lost, you know, or the note was destroyed, well, how much did you get for it? If it was lost, then I need an affidavit of lost note. An affidavit of lost note has 4 elements, and the most important element of that affidavit of lost note is you got to indemnify me. Okay, because now what you're saying is that I owe you this, you're going to take my house, but you don't know where the note is.
Well,
so now 5 years from now, some joker can come along with this note and file suit against me. Well, I need you to indemnify me against that happening. And that's one of the elements of an affidavit of lost note. And that's why the tricky attorneys have gotten around the affidavit of lost note by saying, and we release all liability.
How convenient.
Yeah, how convenient. Okay, that's fine. You may release all liability, but what about that sucker holding the note that's going to come back 5 years from now, potentially? It's another thing we're going to go into later when we're talking about some of the remedies. Potential. Potential is a very good term. You should get familiar with that term and use that term, throw it around, throw that word around. Potential liability.
You also said to watch out for the word modifications.
Yeah, because modification's our friend too. We're going to use that in the remedy also. So what you're going to find in here about as far as modification goes is it's going to say this deed of trust and all assignments are modified, or it can be modified by the lender, which of course we know if the lender can do it, it's not, and we're not prohibited, we can do it too, since we're the one that gave the lender permission to do it in the first place. Well, we're going by the term as it's been defined in the instructions that you gave the bank when you said lender is.
But that's not true.
It doesn't mean they loaned you money. It just means that that's their title for the purpose of this. You could call them peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Okay, every time you see lender, say peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich is ABC Bank. Reuben sandwich is me. Okay, it's just a term. It's just a title is all it is. It doesn't mean you're made out of roast beef. Okay.
The modification is unilateral.
Yes. Well, it can be bilateral. It will be bilateral because the whole thing becomes bilateral. It has become bilateral.
That's bilateral, or that's a unilateral contract, but it becomes bilateral upon their moving to foreclosure.
Well, actually, that's one of the things that some people have discovered and take, I think, into the wrong energy realm is the contract issue. Is there anybody in here that knows a lady named Karen Tappert?
Yeah.
My understanding from listening, I never met her, never talked to her, I just heard her one time on a talk shoot. And my understanding from listening to her, the way she describes it, she's saying there is no contract. Well, she's absolutely right, there is no contract. And it's not because the bank didn't sign, it's because there's no consideration. There's no contract.
Right.
However, there is a declaration.
Right.
Your declaration.
Yeah. You got it correct.
All of our system is operated on decedents and the estates thereof. And everybody knows from a childhood that if you die intestate, now if we go to the Bible, what is equivalent of dying? It's going into debt. You go into debt intestate, if you die intestate, and you do not appoint an executor, then a conservator will be appointed for you. And I guarantee you ain't going to like the way the conservator divvies up your assets. That's why when you go into debt, when you die, when the deceased person enters commerce, and the estate of the deceased person enters into commerce, there must be a will attached. This is the will.
Probate.
And an executor has been appointed. The executor is, Cal Western Reconveyance Corporation. They're the executor, and they have the title trustee. Because we called them, in parentheses, trustee. Where is it?
Which is nothing more than a front for a law firm, Cal Western Conveyance.
Collector.
What is it?
It's a law firm.
Street, San Diego, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Quality Loan Services is a front for McCarthy, Holtis, Levine, and CT Corporation.
And then on top of all this, in this piece of paper here that I'm holding, this declaration that she's giving me, this one for Jane Doe. Jane Doe made the trustee, the public trustee of blank County, Colorado. The public trustee.